Hi, my name's David Parada. Welcome to the first video of my new YouTube channel, of which I hope there'll be many more, but that's going to be up to you folks, won't it? You know, I wanted to do this video, but I didn't want to do this video because it's about abortion. Hear me out. It's not about the morality of abortion. It's not about the politics of abortion. It's not even about when life begins. I was just thinking about a kind of a middle ground based on logic, and I think it'd be worth a few minutes of your time to take a listen. Have you seen the movie It's a Wonderful Life? It's the story of George Bailey, who was given the opportunity to see what his life would be like had he never been born. Now, George Bailey is played by Jimmy Stewart. And when he was a kid, him and his little brother Harry, they were snowboarding. No, not snowboarding. That's too sophisticated. They were snow shoveling down the hillside, and little Harry ended up in a pool of ice water. And George had to jump in and save his life. Now, fast forward to World War II, and little Harry became a hotshot fighter pilot. And he shot down 2 enemy planes as they were heading for an American battleship with 2,700 sailors on board. Now, guys, if you were on the ship for 2, 3, 4 years out at sea, or just, in the service, and gals, waiting for them, what's the first thing that you'd be thinking about doing when the ship docked in New York? Exactly. So we can think that of the 2,700 sailors on that ship, when they got home, they produced about 2,700 kids. Their kids would have kids, and their kids would have kids, and on and on and on and on. But, had George never been there to save Harry, Harry would never have existed. Thus, he couldn't have shot down the 2 fighter planes that were heading for the ship, and all 2,700 of those sailors would have been killed. And no kids for them, no kids after, etc., etc., etc. Now, I'm sure you can see what I'm getting at here. If you eliminate one person out of the human equation, it creates a huge hole. Gigantic. It can be 2,700 people. It could be more. I mean, how many kids do you think those 2,700 sailors would have had? So, an enormous hole. And in 2 seconds, I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Okay. Now, for every person that you do eliminate from the human equation, you also eliminate their minds. Minds produce thoughts, and thoughts produce ideas, and ideas produce tangible things like cars, and radios, and the internet. And that creates our reality. That's how man does it. You go to the beginning of civilization. We had the Stone Age, Iron Age, Bronze Age, Wood Age, Plastic Age. I don't know. My ages are probably mixed up. But you know what I mean. If man didn't have ideas to advance him on the human timeline, we'd all be driving around in Flintstone cars, eating Bronto burgers at Burger Cave. Now, take a good look around you. Everything in your room, that you're looking at right now, your couch, your table, your PC, your laptop, anything. All of those things were ideas in someone's mind at one time. And no one person, no one idea comes into reality, and that's it. It takes a lot of people to perfect that reality. So if you took away all the people that had the ideas for all those things in your room, beep, 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 one by one, they would all disappear until you'd be sitting on a pile of dirt because those people hadn't been around to think these things into existence. So here's the thing. There needs to be a continual pool of human beings to have these thoughts, to invent things, to move humans along the human timeline. Has to be. That's the only way it could happen. Now, what all this really means is before any of this can happen, a human being must enter time through a woman's womb. And that's where we'll leave this for now. And in another 2 seconds, we'll continue on. Since Roe versus Wade in 1973, over 61 million babies have been aborted in just the United States alone. That's the combined total populations of New York and California. That's also 61 million minds that have been taken out of the human equation. And remember, minds produce thoughts, thoughts produce ideas, and ideas produce our reality. Do you know how many thoughts and ideas that 61 million minds can produce? Let's do some math here. I did some research, and I think this will kind of blow you away. Let's do a conservative estimate puts the human mind as thinking about 6,000 thoughts a day. Now, in my research, some people put that a lot higher, but I'm going to use a low estimate, so people won't accuse me of cooking the books or something. So 6,000 thoughts a day by 365 days per year comes to 2,190,000 thoughts per year for one person. Again, 6,000 thoughts per day multiplied by 365 days a year comes to 2,190,000 thoughts per year for one person. Okay. Now, if that person lives to be 76 years old, he or she will have thought 166,444,000 thoughts. Let me run that by you again. 166,440,000 thoughts for one person. Now take that figure and multiply it by the 61 million babies that were aborted. That would have represented a combined total of, get this blew me away, it really did, 10 quadrillion, 152 trillion, 840 billion thoughts that never made it into the world. One more time. 10 quadrillion, 152 trillion, 840 billion thoughts that never made it into the world because those 60 million babies were aborted, all right? So that's just the basic premise. Some people will go, well, this is off or this is off. I'm giving you the basic premise here, okay? So what are the odds that out of all those thoughts from those 61 million babies, that there may have been at least one person, one of them, that might have grown to discover a cure for cancer or ALS or something like that? I'm sure you can say the same for people in your family, or, I lost somebody last year, a good friend of mine, to hip cancer. I'm sure you know someone in your family, your mom, dad, brother, sister, loved one, spouse. I wonder if one of those 61 million babies had a cure for whatever they died of, What would you do to get them back? My wife has Alzheimer's. I would be really, really ticked off if one of those 61 million babies had the answer or the cure for Alzheimer's. You know what I mean? Really ticked off, really ticked off. And that's why, if a woman has that much power to be able to affect history by invoking her right to choose, doesn't that kind of tell you that we're shooting ourselves in the foot every time that we abort a child? Abortion was never factored into the plan of civilization because it's counterproductive and self-defeating to kill a member of your own species, Well, I'll be back in 2 seconds, and we'll wrap this thing up. Now, this video is made for all of you girls and women and boyfriends and husbands out there who are open-minded enough to consider the facts that I've given in this video and think about them. It's really all I'm asking is for you to think it over before you make any decision. And that's basically it. That's basically all I wanted to say in this video. But remember, if the door is slammed in a baby's face, going to leave a mighty big hole, Ellie Mae. Thank you. See you next time. Well, guys and dolls, congratulations. If you're seeing me now, you made it through the whole video. Well, you know the drill. If you liked it, hit the like button. I think it's over here. Yeah, you hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. If you hated it, forget the whole thing. Forget the whole thing. Now there's the subscribe button. I'm not going to be real prolific on getting these videos out right now, but if you hit the subscribe button, you'll be notified when they come out. The main thing I want you to do is share this video. Even more important than hitting the like button for me is to share it, because I want to get this information out there. Try to save some babies. So thanks. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and be seeing you.